Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Cordant and today I'm bringing you a video of something that was requested of me, which is to show how I deal with Alhoon. So for those of you who might not know him, an Alhoon is a magic using outcast from mind flayer societies who defied the ruling elder brains to achieve a limited form of lichdom. So this is something that I'm reading straight from the Forgotten Realms wiki. I am not that well versed in Dungeons and Dragons lore, to my great sadness. Just know that these are the most powerful Mind Flayer mages that could achieve true lichdom and were henceforth known as Illithid liches, which is very, very awesome. So as liches, these are also undead. So in a practical sense, this means that an Alhoon is the most powerful version of a Mind Flayer that you can find, at least in Baldur's Gate. In Baldur's Gate 2, there is a single instance of this enemy, which is right here. In the sewers area, there's the secret entrance, which you can access once you have the sewer key from Furcrack's dungeon. This is a very, very dangerous area, and Alhoon is one of the most dangerous enemies in the game, so be careful going in here. But there is also a second one that got added in the enhanced edition for Hexhat's quest, but that one is kind of a really low level version of this Alhoon, so it's not nearly as dangerous as this one. You can kill him very easily in the earlier levels. So since I was asked to show Alhoon, I might as well also show how I deal with this dungeon, which is kind of short, it's quick to do. But since it's dangerous, I think it's something I wanted to share with you guys so you can know how to handle these fights. So your best friend against Mind Flayers, in general, is the spell Chaotic Commands. You've probably already used this spell. It is a very, very useful spell. It has a long duration of 1 turn per level. It will render the creature immune to a bunch of magical command effects like Suggestion, Charm, Sleep, Maze, Confusion, etc. But it will also protect the target from Psionic Blast. This is an ability that Mind Flayers love casting, and the target that gets hit by the Psionic Blast will be stunned, and it will be essentially a free kill for Mind Flayers kind of slurping out your brains, which is something they do. So if you do get hit by a Mind Flayer, you might not take any damage, but you will lose 5 intellect points. If your stat points go below 0, you die. So Mind Flayers are very, very dangerous because of this, and Chaotic Commands will help out tremendously against this. The other big helper is from a mage or any kind of arcane caster that can cast Protection from Magic Energy. So this will confer 100% invulnerability to all magic-based attacks, such as Magic Missile and Horde Wilting, but in this case, what the powerful versions of Mind Flayers, the Illithids, like doing is casting Detonate. Detonate is an ability that deals magical damage in an AoE, and it's a tremendous amount of damage, trust me. If like 2 or 3 of them cast Detonate around your backline, rest assured everybody's gonna die. So this will make you immune to that. So, for this example, I'm going to be showing this using SCS on Insane, and I'm also going to be taking double damage from every single thing being thrown around. The party is nothing very special. My main character is a Kensai duel to a thief. He's actually not going to be doing much here because we are still kind of low level for this dungeon. I would recommend coming here as late as you can or feel comfortable with in the game, because this really is a very dangerous area. In any case, we have a fight, a Kensai duel to a thief. We have Mr. Corgan, Animan, Mazzy, Vicky, and Edwin. So notably, the only arcane spellcaster in the party is going to be Edwin, which will make things a little bit more interesting, but as well a bit harder. So let's go in. Like I said, my characters are already buffed with Chaotic Commands, and I also have Protection from Magic on my front line, so Corgan and Animan, which are going to be the ones leading the charge.
Yes,
So I'm just going to do some buffs here, some quick stuff before we go,
What is it now?
in order to start the fight.
Yes.
Let's get some emotions,
I shall go forth at your command.
some chants, just the usual stuff you do before a bigger fight.
What is it?
I'm also gonna get a haste.
Point the sword, and I shall
You are gonna get
strike.
Linkipy Shield. Armor of Faith. Draw upon Holy Might. And we are done.
Go bother someone else.
Okay.
I hear
So you
well
two
enough.
can move in.
Must be paid well for this.
This first area is not the most dangerous one.
I'm waiting.
I am
Just gonna
yours to
keep
carry out,
Mazzy
my
over
friend.
here because I'm gonna shoot from the back with
I'm
her.
busy, okay?
And Edwin in
alright.
order to dispel the enemies.
At your order.
So,
Do you want
let's
round?
berserk Mr. Corgan,
What is
let's
it
open
now?
the door
With all
and
speed,
move
comrade.
in. So this first area, there's not really much to note. There's a couple of human enemies, you have archers, fighters, you have an Umber Hulk, which can cast confusion at your party, and that's also why we have chaotic commands, because it will render you immune to that particular confusion attack. There's a cleric and there's a mage, which are going to be the ones that we have to pay more attention to. So, let's start the fight. Let's see what they do. They're going invisible, the mage has put up his pre-buffs, and there is also a Mind Flayer here in the back, but he's kind of the only Mind Flayer in the area, so I'm not very concerned about him. This mage, he has Fire Shield, Minor Globe, minus Spell Deflection, Protection from Magical Weapons, so he cannot hit him right now, Shield, Spirit Armor, and Stone Skin. So, some spell protections and some combat protections. That's why I have Mr. Edwin here with a spell sequencer of 3 remove magics to try and dispel this guy in a single
What should I
shot.
fetch now?
The
Let's
group
do that.
may go forth.
Mazzy is gonna help out. So he got hit. He is now completely dispelled of his combat protections, so he's gonna be an easy kill for our fighter types. And there you go. Mage dead. So, as we all know,
Yes.
an unprotected mage is a dead mage,
So very well.
and that's what just happened right there. Okay, let's just bleed out the rest.
Be quick with it.
There's a Mind Flayer teleporting
One
Yes,
day.
at your
over to this
command.
area.
One day.
We're gonna deal with him very, very soon. Mazzy, where are you going? Skeleton Warrior. Is he stuck behind the door? I think he
In
is.
defense of virtue.
Oh, there's the Mind Flayer. Funny. Kai!
I am yours to command. Go bother someone else.
Okay, so yeah, we're kinda stuck on this door.
Arborine, guide my blade.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Stop getting stuck on the door, please. Just go in.
In defense of virtue.
Thank you.
Blood and glory. Now you die.
Okay. So yeah, something I should have also mentioned is that Mind Flayers like teleporting to your backline, so you gotta keep aware of that, just so you don't get
Point the
unexpectedly
sword,
killed.
and I shall strike.
Just gonna do some healing here, nothing special. And now, this first area was easy, as we saw,
I'm busy.
but
okay, I'm
the
busy.
second area is not gonna be very easy at all.
I hear you well enough.
So the next area is gonna be full of Mind Flayers.
For honor
And for this,
glory.
I'm gonna be using
Yeah.
Animan,
Have killed for less.
but you could also use a mage, for example Edwin, with Stone Skin as well as protection from magical weapons. The reason why I'm not sending Edwin in is because I actually only had 2 protections from magic memorized, so he would get immediately killed by detonates. So I'm actually gonna send my friends over here first.
At your order.
So, the reason for this is that Mind Flayers not only like to cast Detonate, but they also like to cast another spell which at the moment the name eludes me, but it deals a gigantic amount of damage to a single target, and the damage type is crushing damage. So, something like a Stone Skin would completely negate that damage, or if you're
What is
playing a
it now?
character with Icewind Dale spells, like I am, you have access to Divine Protection, which will grant total immunity to damage for 3 rounds. So we're gonna be using Mr. Enemin here as our frontline tank and as our bait after a drop on Holy Might. You are gonna get some mirror images.
I shall go forth at your command.
And let's go in.
The best leaders also follow.
So Detonate's already coming in, but for that we are protected against magic. But I'm already gonna cast my Divine Protection so I don't get killed by anything else. Let's fight, let's send Korgan in. Mazzy, you can also help out.
Shouldn't be too difficult.
Okay. Korgan is gonna use his Gem of True Seeing, which is something you can pick up in Rasad's quest, which will dispel invisibility. And these friends here have improved invisibility, making it harder for us to hit them. They are now dispelled. Let's all focus on the same target.
Prince of virtue.
Leave Mazzy alone.
I am yours to be
Lord of glory!
in
Now
defense
you
of
die!
virtue.
Okay,
I shall overcome.
another one.
Take that!
Dead.
For time we got the business!
Woo!
The group consider it done.
Okay,
Bark your orders!
and the final one. Dead. Okay, so with these, if you have some decent fighter types, you can kill them very, very quickly. And you do need to kill them very quickly because otherwise, like I said before, if they start hitting you, they will start draining your intellect and your fighters will die, no matter how much HP they have. So, I'm gonna make a little edit here, just so I can rest. I'm gonna change up some of my spells because the next fight is gonna be against Alhoon, which is the leader of this place, and a very, very dangerous fight. So, I will be back in a second. Okay, so another thing I wanted to show off, and this is just another quick edit, is if you want to deal with mind flayers using magical means, or if you want to deal damage to mind flayers in an AoE, which sometimes you want and you need, you will have a tough time, because one of the properties of mind flayers is that they have a very, very high magic resistance. In the case of an Illithid, they have 95% magic resistance. A normal mind flayer will have 90% magic resistance. So good luck trying to kill them or even hit them with magic. Yes. Although, if you are later on in the game and you have access to HLAs, especially on a mage, you will have access to... where is it? Something like this. So a Dragon's Breath. The Dragon's Breath is a mage HLA. It will deal 20d10 fire damage in an AoE. It is party friendly, but something that's not mentioned here, this goes through magic resistance. So this will hit every single mind flayer in the area. Similar to this, you will also have on your clerics access to the level 7 spell Firestorm. Firestorm, again, doesn't mention anything about going through MR, but this will also go through magic resistance. So I'm gonna see if I can exemplify here by using Edwin and 2 of my clerics.
What is it now?
We're gonna open the door, we're gonna go in, and I'm gonna start casting with Vicky and Animan a Firestorm right here in the middle.
Victory shall be ours.
Hopefully they won't get interrupted.
Go bother something.
Okay, so Edwin's getting attacked. Oh, go away.
I'm busy. A waste of my talents.
Let's send in a Dragon's Breath, so we can see the effects. Okay, so we can see Dragon's Breath right here dealt 144 fire damage to the Umber Hulk, and wow, actually every single mind flayer saved versus Breath, but still they took 60, 51, 65, 40 and 52 fire damage. Also, something that I actually forgot to mention, they have the high magic resistance, but they have 0 fire resistance. That's why this works so well. And they also don't have a lot of hit points. So if you'll notice, near death, badly injured, near death, and badly injured. This is from the single Dragon's Breath. And now, the Firestorms are coming in, Animan dealt fire damage from Animan, fire damage from Animan. He killed 1, 2, 3 mind flayers. And that one is kind of out of range. But I think he just killed himself, right? Yeah, he's dead. Okay, so also, by the way, the reason why I'm walking around with Edwin and I'm not... Let's go over here so we can... The firestorm does a lot of noise. Makes a lot of noise. I'm walking around peacefully because Edwin has protection from fire. Okay, actually from a mage and from a cleric. So he is perfectly safe to walk around in that fire. But yeah, so if you want to kill mind flayers in an AoE, Dragon's Breath is an excellent way to do it. It's the best way to do it in my opinion. If you don't have Dragon's Breath or HLAs, clerics, firestorms will deal a lot of damage. Okay, so that was it. Okay, so time for Alhoon. I have rested my party, I have swapped out some spells on Mr. Edwin, I have buffed every single one of our companions and my main character as well, and I have also summoned 2 skeleton warriors. So these skeleton warriors, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna use them, because sometimes they can kind of clutter the tunnel and you can't really move the way you want. But if I do, it's just something for the enemies to draw attention to. They're not really gonna be DPSing all that much. In terms of our buffs, I'm just gonna go over some of the important ones here. I'm not gonna go over all of them. So for example, Animan has a lot of useful buffs here, combat upgrades. I mean, you should always use those. I will focus on the ones which are important for the fight. Let's use as an example Mr. Corgan here. So Corgan is gonna have chaotic commands, very useful as we've seen before, to keep him protected from mind flayer abilities. And he's also gonna have protection from magic energy to keep him safe from detonate, which deals a lot of magic damage. Now we have 2 additional buffs. The first one is gonna be protection from fire, and the second one is gonna be Death Ward. So starting with Death Ward, the reason for this buff is, like I mentioned before, an Alhoon is not only a mind flayer, but he is also a lich. So you can expect some very powerful magic coming in from him. One of the spells I usually expect to come from liches is a Fallen Planetar. Fallen Planetars, as you know, or you might not know, when they hit a character, they have a chance to trigger a Vorpal hit, which means if they trigger the Vorpal hit and your character fails a save versus death, the character is immediately decapitated and instantly dies. That's something you don't want to happen. But if you have something like Death Ward, which gives you protection from instant death, you are actually safe from Vorpal hits. Protection from fire. Fallen Planetars, something they also love to cast is Firestorm, which deals a lot of fire damage. And also liches, having access to very high level spells, they will probably have access to some of the most powerful HLAs, like Dragon's Breath or Comet, which deal fire damage. The other reason why I had this here is that even though mind flayers are very resistant to magic, they are not resistant to fire at all. So one way you can kind of exploit the fight is to have, if you have a party lineup similar to mine at least, if you have a couple of clerics or even just one cleric, you will have access to the spell Firestorm, which, even though it doesn't say here, goes through magic resistance. So in this case, Viconia and Animan could do this. And naturally, you're gonna want to cast this on top of the fight, which means you're also gonna be hitting your front line. So I don't want to kill my characters with my own spells, so I will protect them from my own spells. That's the main reason. So, full disclosure, this is actually going to be my second attempt at making this video, because in the first one I don't think it properly showed what I wanted from Alhoon, because Alhoon did nothing in my previous attempt. So I started the fight, I cast a couple of firestorms on top of my frontliners, Alhoon teleported into that area, I think, or he just walked in there, and he just died to fire damage. So it was very underwhelming. I'm gonna have a separate video for that in case you guys want to see how it went. But since I don't think that's a proper showcase of the fight, I'm gonna do it again without using Firestorm. So, another thing to note, both of my clerics are buffed with Entropy Shield to make them immune to remove magic, and Edwin, I'm also gonna give him spell immunity to abjuration for that exact same reason.
What is it now?
So, skeletons can stay over here.
Give me some direction.
You can swap to your throwing dagger. I don't want you in the middle of the fight. And Enamin is gonna move in.
Well,
Something else I think I'm also gonna do
what do you want,
is... I think I'm actually gonna go, like, head on into that area. Because sometimes, and it's also happened to me in the past, Alhoon kinda gets stuck here. So you end up fighting him alone, and that's not what I want. I want a proper fight with Mr. Alhoon.
Yes, Bill.
I'm also gonna have Vicky cast a True Seeing, because Mind Flayers love to go invisible. And just buffing Korgan with Berserking and myself with some mirror images. Just to keep extra safe.
Point the sword.
So let's see what we have.
The DG.
Going into this room, we can see we have a lot of stuff. I'm just gonna protect Mr. Enamin here with the Divine Protection. But we can see that we have 2 Mind Flayers, we have 2 Umber Hulks, and we also have... Oh, I thought it was 2 Illithids, but it's actually... Oh no, there's still another one. So there are 2 Illithids and 3 Mind Flayers in this area, and also Mr. Alhoon. So let's check out the SCS pre-buffs here. So they are casting Detonated Animan, but he is immune to magic damage, that's fine. Alhoon has all of his buffs over here, everything triggered properly. So let's actually inspect them in a more visual manner. So I'll use my overlay here. And let's check out the start of this video, Mr. Alhoon. So he is a Mind Flayer. He is actually a dual class, so he is a level 9 fighter that dual to a level 20 mage. His stats are nothing particularly impressive. He is immune to cold and electricity. He has 90% magic resistance, which makes trying to hit him with spells tough. Like I said, you have stuff like Firestorm, which is very, very effective. He doesn't have a lot of HP, which is kind of usual for spellcasters. His armor class is nothing special, which means that if I can dispel him, he will die very quickly. His Thaco is decent. And also very important, he sees through invisibility, like any other Mind Flayer, by the way. This is something that SCS does, so don't bother going invisible. He also has Aura Cleansing, which means he can cast spells very, very quickly. And like any other Mind Flayer, if he hits you with one of his attacks, he will drain 5 intelligence points, no save allowed. So this guy with improved haste actually hits 8 times per round. So if he gets close to some of your characters, be careful. Either move away or make sure you have a lot of AC and mirror images and all that, or protection from magical weapons, stuff like that. In terms of his protections, he has a mirror image, improved haste, minor globe, minor spell turning, shield, stone skin, mind blank, chain contingency that just procced, improved mantle, protection from normal missiles, and spell shield. So, since I want to kill him via physical damage, I will need to remove his spell shield first, then I will need to remove his minor spell turning, and then I will be able to breach him to remove his combat protections. So, that's gonna be my plan.
I hear you well enough.
And I'm gonna start bringing in my people into this area. I know it's kinda suicidal because this is a choke point, but I don't want Alhoon to get stuck in the room and we don't have a proper fight with him. So, Korgan, you are gonna have a mirror image as well. I'm gonna bring Mazzy up here. I'm gonna wait for Vicky to finish her cast.
Alright.
And let's see what we have. Okay, you can start fighting.
I am yours to
Mazzy
command.
can start fighting. I'm just focusing on the Mind Flayer right now.
I'm busy, okay? I'm busy.
We have 2 magical swords. So I will try to cast a death spell here once they get a little bit closer. With Edwin, naturally. You can come over here.
Arborine, guide my blade!
Have you nothing
Okay,
else
Edwin,
to do
don't
but
go
bother me?
too far in, dude. Okay, so that spell over here should hit them both. Okay, there we go. Oh, we actually also killed the Umber Hulks. I kind of forgot about that. Okay, so Edwin can chill.
Yes, yes, I see.
Corgan can go in to help out with the damage. They are teleporting on top of Eneman.
At your order.
He doesn't have a lot of intellect or intelligence. So one thing you can also do to kind of help out, if you have them, there are potions of genius, which will bump up your intelligence by 4 points. This isn't a lot, but in the case of Eneman that only has 10 intelligence points... Oh, come on, too far away. Give it to Edwin. Okay. It means you will be able to tank an additional hit from a Mind Flayer. Okay, so Vicky, you can come in as well to try and fight.
Yes.
And Edwin, I will also kind of send him in a second.
One.
No
day.
mercy for those
Steverson, go help. Ooh, okay, so Fallen Planetar on top of Eneman, let's focus on that. Corgan, go for that as well.
The group needs me?
You can focus on the Mind Flayers. This one is near death.
I'm waiting.
You, Mind Flayer. Alhoon is still over there.
What is it now?
I want to bring Edwin over
What
here.
your guts be looking like.
Oh, really? This is how you want to play it. Okay, so we're gonna have to move back. I don't want this guy mauling my backline. Okay. So let's just focus on the ones over here, and then we're gonna go after Alhoon. Okay. Can you guys keep him busy, maybe?
Give me some there.
Maybe.
I'm busy, okay? I'm busy.
Okay. So Edwin is gonna throw out a secret word at this guy to remove the spell shield. We can go back here. Okay, we are still fine. I'm not
I shall go forth at your
overly
command.
concerned with Eneman because he has a lot of AC. So he is well protected against the Mind Flayer
Be
attacks.
quick with it.
But I still want to kill them quickly. Ooh. Alhoon is throwing out a remove magic on top of Staberson, which is my character. Do I have Boots of Speed? I do. Let's equip them and let's move the hell away from here. And Mazzy will move in this direction and Viconia as well.
You shall
Oh,
suffer
really?
my
You got
wrath.
stuck. Are you...
It's probably best.
Okay, that sucked because she is now vulnerable, but
Give me some direction.
it is what it is. Okay,
What do you want, Crownley?
let's keep focusing on the Mind Flayers.
Axe be bloody
nothing else
ready.
to
You
do
are
but
gonna
bother
come
me.
down
Fine,
and
just stop.
strip another protection from Alhoon. He now should only have his minor spell turning.
Yes, nice. What should
So-
I fetch now?
This is enough. Just put this over here again.
Yes.
This isn't working. This isn't working.
Okay, he has lost his protections. Edwin can come over here again.
Alright.
And you guys are still fine, right? Yeah, I think so.
This isn't working. This isn't working.
Bark your
Right,
orders,
focus on that one.
ready.
Go bother
And
someone
Edwin,
else.
as soon as you can, he's actually gonna lose his improved mental soon, so I can just
Busy,
wait.
okay? I'm busy.
Okay, he actually cast True Sight instead of
Have you nothing
protecting
else to do but
himself.
bother me?
Interesting. Okay, let's just remove his stone skin so we can start hurting him. You guys are still killing the Illithids.
See what your guts be looking like.
Breach, he's been breached, but he immediately cast an absolute immunity, of course.
Yes, yes.
Let me move out of here.
This isn't working.
Just keep people away from him.
Edwin do that. Somebody
This
gets
isn't
jerked
working.
on a banana.
Stay safe.
What is it now?
Let's breach. Because now he only has his absolute immunity and nothing else.
Go bother someone else.
You guys are
Be
killing the
quick with it.
Illithid. Come help with Alhoon. I think it's more important.
This isn't working. This isn't working.
What are you casting, bitch? Comet on Mazzy. Yeah, so
Yes?
that's why I was concerned, and that's why I gave her protection from fire. How much do you have? Fire. You have 20% fire resistance. but I can give you 1 potion of fire resistance, which hopefully will help you out. Okay. And I was kind of looking for this ring, yeah, but Animan is using it. Okay, so he has been breached. He no longer has any kind of protection.
I'm waiting.
So let's shoot him.
What do you want?
You two,
prowling?
go for it. You come over here.
Blood and glory! Now
Yeah, so the comet didn't do much. And then he took 20 missile damage from a Staberson throwing dagger. And Alhoon is dead. I'm just gonna kill the final
Give me some direction.
Illithid, which is somewhere in this region. Wasn't he? Oh, he is.
the axe be bloody ready!
Come on, friend. There you are.
Have you not eaten?
Righteousness shall prevail!
Hey!
Give me some direction. I'm there.
And there we go. He still munched my brains a little bit, this guy. But I'm perfectly safe. Okay, so I think this was a better showcase of what Alhoon can do. I managed to keep my protections up. The only thing that kind of failed was Mr. Staberson getting stuck in this pillar. So the remove magic hit Mazzy, and you know, that's why he targeted her with the comet. But that's also why you have potions. Don't be like some people, like myself, who keep the potions only for the end boss. You have fire resistance potions, this is why. Use them. So, we've killed all of the mind flayers in the area, we've killed Alhoon, we have access to the awesome loot, which I will not spoil, and hopefully this was, you know, enjoyable for you guys to see these fights, clearing out the entire dungeon, which isn't very long, and fighting Alhoon, which is honestly one of the most dangerous enemies in the game. He went down quickly, but trust me, if you let him kind of play around, your entire party is gonna get destroyed. So, hopefully this is a proper showcase of the fight. I hope you guys liked it. As usual, if you have any questions or suggestions, leave a comment below. Like I said, this video was something that was requested by a viewer via comment, so if there's something you guys want to see, you know, leave a comment and I'll check it out. If you want to get notified about other videos coming to the channel, feel free to subscribe. It's a free and easy way to support my channel, and videos are coming out every single day. And I hope to see you guys in another video. Until then, stay safe everyone.